And I can remember when she was born being brought up to her mother and her mother kissing her face, which was all full of goo and blood and stuff like that. And that's my first memory of Victoria. In addition to that, after she was cleaned up, they handed her to me, and I sat in a rocking chair with her for what seemed like an eternity.
My first memory of Victoria was sniffing her like a puppy, so I knew she was mine. And she was a real princess to me, a joy.
It started with her talking as a baby. I think it was maybe like she was a prodigy. And she would literally sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and stand up in her crib. She couldn't have been two, and she would start talking and jabbering and talking. And sometimes it wasn't actual words, it was just noise. And I'd have to yell out, "Mom, Tor won't shut up!" And my mom would have to come in and like try to make her go to sleep again. So yeah, she's just constantly talking.
Yeah, pretty much since she was born, yes. In fact, it was either my father, her grandfather, or Grandpa George that called her. They marveled at how much she could talk.
Yeah, Victoria could talk, and I think she started at about the age of 1 forming full sentences.
When she was first born, I didn't want anything to do with her because I thought she should go back to the hospital. Because I'd been on my own for like 4.5 years, and then she came along and I was like, what the heck? But then pretty quickly I warmed up to her, and when she was real little and I was still pretty young, we got along really well. And like I said, we shared a bedroom and we did everything together. And I particularly remember our nightly ritual before we would go to sleep. We like did a lot of fun stuff that only she and I really knew about, and sometimes we'd stay up a lot later than my parents knew.
Well, I met Victoria on the first day of kindergarten in Miss LaRoe's kindergarten class. She had hair down past her butt. She was a little bit of a thing, maybe even smaller than I was. And she was sitting all by herself at one of the tables, and she wasn't playing with all the rest of the kids. So, you know, me being the person that I used to be was skipping over to her, trying to include her in the rest of the playgroup, and she wasn't having any of it. She would rather hang out with quiet Danica Lichtig. But she would, you know, change her tune in a couple years, and, you know, we'd become best friends. I think her favorite beginning memory is when I showed up as soon as they moved here with my bright pink cowboy hat with the feathers, standing at the bottom of the stairs, and howdy!
And she was always a planner, always a planner. I love to watch her plan parties and things with her friends. For instance, she was having a Christmas party with a few of her little girlfriends, and she would go set the table, and she'd have me buy a roast chicken, and we'd make a pot of tea, and the table was always all decorated, and always a great party planner.
She did like planning her own birthday party, so hopefully this will meet her standards.
From when we were little, one of my favorite memories of Tor and I together is when we did something that we would call Teddy time. So she had Teddy, which was her favorite stuffed animal, and I had Bunny, which is my favorite stuffed animal, both of which we still have. I know she doesn't sleep with her Teddy, and I don't sleep with my Bunny anymore, but I did up until very recently. But it was like this weird thing. We would flip them upside down and like use their legs and their tails as like this other like alternate nose and face, and they had these other personalities at night, and we would do this like whole Teddy time show when we were little. And it's really strange. No one else would understand it, but we did it for years, and she probably remembers it really well too.
One of my favorite is when we did a duet for Nizma in, I don't know, maybe 7th or 8th grade. I don't know, I just really like that memory, singing with her and, you know, competing, and also just playing outside. We played outside a lot as kids, and we had a ton of games. Christina and Samantha were our like alter egos. When we were younger, we used to make not mixtapes, but we would make our own commercials. There was one about lemon meringue pie and secret deodorant.
And then also when we went to Korea and spent a summer together in Korea, I also let her get away maybe with a little bit too much stuff, like drinking a lot of beer and going out to clubs. And I think she was like 15, so my parents would die. If they had known it then, they would have died. I think I've told them a few times now, but even probably watching this video, they're like, oh, it's bullcrap. They knew.
Well, I was working at an employment agency. It was called Strategic Resources. And she actually came in to get a job through us, and thought, well, this girl's pretty attractive, you know, very cute, seemed very nice. And then eventually she started working at Albany International, which is where I was working. I started, I guess you could call it, flirting with her and asking her to lunch, and eventually I wore her down and we went to Panera a few times for lunch. And she would always keep my secret because I would always go print the racing form during Saratoga season right by her cubicle. And she would never tell on me that I was printing on work printers, you know, the racing form and stuff like that. So I appreciated that, and eventually we started dating. We went on our first date at the track, actually, August 19th, 2006. And I lost big that day, but kept enough money to pay for dinner, and the rest, as they say, is history. How did I propose to her? We actually, in July of 2007, we went to Lake Placid. We stayed at a real nice hotel in Lake Placid. We had a great day of kayaking where, you know, unfortunately she was a lot better at kayaking than I am, but we've kind of come to understand that now. But then we went out to a nice dinner. We came back to our hotel room. We went out on the balcony, which was overlooking, I believe that's actually Mirror Lake at the Crowne Plaza in Lake Placid, and told her that, you know, I can't believe it took me that long to meet her, but I didn't want to spend another day without, you know, her in my life, and got down on one knee and proposed. And she did her patented laugh cry for a while, and I wasn't sure she was going to say yes, but eventually she said yes.
I think one of her best qualities is that when she believes in something, she really sticks to it, and she leads by example. So my sister's not the kind of person that really will go with the flow or go with the grain just because everybody else is. When she really thinks that something is right, then she'll do it, even if other people don't. And I feel like other people really easily look up to her. She's really just got great leadership qualities. She's also very trustworthy, and she's super honest, and I think that's what makes her not only a really good sister, but a really good friend.
Her compassion, her gentleness, her kindness. There's just so many qualities that she has, too numerous to mention.
Best parts of being married to Victoria? Well, there's the cooking, obviously. The cooking is unbelievable. So I'm never lacking for good food. But in all seriousness, besides the cooking, she's just so supportive in everything. Just really supports me 110%. Is always there for me. She's the rock I rely on each and every day. And just, you know, the companionship and the friendship and the good times we have and the laughs we have and the knowledge of Food Network programming that I've gained through knowing her, and her knowledge of the Cincinnati Bengals and Syracuse basketball has grown leaps and bounds, which I know she's very grateful for. So those are some of the best parts about her.
I've seen her grow tremendously. I'm so proud of who she is now and who she's become. I think she's grown a lot more confident over the years, especially in the last few years. I think she's much more sure of herself. She doesn't worry as much as she used to. And she also has a real sense of self now. I mean, I think she's really come into her own, and she's become just an incredible young woman. She's one of those people that's always been sort of an old soul and maybe ahead of herself, but it's kind of like this two-sided thing where I can't believe she's 30, yet I'm like, shouldn't she have been 30 like 10 years ago?
I think she's become more confident. She was a little bit more introverted when we were younger, which is kind of funny because we've switched roles a little bit, but she's become a very strong and confident woman, and I respect her a lot for that.
Well, as anybody who's seen her lately knows, she's actually kind of shrunk as a person over the past year and a half or so. She's lost a lot of weight, gotten into better shape physically. But as a person, I think she's, she's just grown in so many ways, not only in her career, where she's just doing wonderfully at her job and really excelling on a day-to-day basis. But she's just maturing. I mean, sometimes I forget how young she was when I actually met her compared to how old I am. But she's just grown emotionally and spiritually. She's very devout in her faith.
Couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, she has her priorities set. God is very important to her. Church is very important to her. Family, friends, everything else comes after that, which is the way it should be.
Happy birthday, Victoria. We love you very much and we're so proud of you. Happy, happy birthday.
Happy 30th birthday, Victoria. I'll be there in a month.
Happy birthday, Tor. Love ya.
Happy 30th birthday from Tucson, Arizona!
Happy birthday, Tor. I love you. I can't believe you're 30, but welcome to the club. It's awesome. Love you.
Hey, Bumbo, just wanted to wish you a happy 30th birthday. I love you so much, and I hope today is the greatest day other than our wedding day of your whole life. And I just wanted to wish you a happy 30th birthday, and I hope you enjoy this party and this movie and everything tonight very, very much. I love you.
What's going on?
What's up?
I got Tweedledum here.
Here's Tweedledee.
And we're here to wish you a happy
30th birthday! What's up?
I hope that your 30s are filled with lots of kale, fiber, and great digestive tracts.
Clean eating, that's what's up.
So we're going to wrap it up because we're about 4 drinks deep here,
Son,
heading out to the bars.
only way to go.
But you enjoy your 30s, and we'll meet you at the bar.
Oh, hell yeah. Tonight's going to be a crazy night. Hope you're strapped in for a good one. Deuces.